Hello guys. Welcome to Tutor Sisters channel. Please subscribe to our channel to help us grow.
Today we are going to talk about the 4 levels of if not higher. We will be talking about the little comprehension, interpretation, critical thinking and finally the assimilation part. So let's begin with the little comprehension part. The absence of Robbie of Nemi every Friday morning during the penitential prayers gives rise to the various rumors and heresies. Since it is the days of awe, everyone around believes that the Rabbi ascends to heaven to report to the God about the problems, confessions, and prayers of people and to make them pious by washing off all their sins. A Litvak who is more of critical and analyzing behavior mocks the average thought of people. Every time anybody asks the Litvak about the Rabbi, he clearly states that it is none of his business, but deep down, the inquisitiveness to unravel his location remained in his subconscious. That same night after evening prayers, the Litvak makes up his mind and conceals himself inside the Rabbi's room and waits inside the Rabbi's room and waits under the bed to uncover the entire truth. He lays there wide awake and recites a whole tractate of Talmud by heart. He lies under the bed, unaffected by the heart-wrenching groan of the Rabbi. He does what befits a Jew. Then the Rabbi goes to his closets and disguises himself as a peasant and wears lined trousers, high boots and a coat, a big felt hat and a long leather belt. As he leaves, he takes an axe and puts it in his belt. The Litvak follows the Rabbi to the outskirts of the town, where he enters the wood. He cuts down a tree. He chops the tree into logs and logs into sticks and makes a bundle and ties it with rope. Then he stops at the sick Jewish woman's room and sells her the wood. He kindles the fire for her, and as he does that, he recites the penitential prayers. On witnessing this, the Litvak becomes amazed and starts respecting and admiring the Rabbi. Then, whenever anybody asks the Litvak about the Rabbi, he answers that Rabbi is either in heaven or higher. Now, let's talk about the interpretation part. The text seems to be trying to tell us that the amount of satisfaction and delight that we receive from inner service equates to the heavenly pleasure or maybe even superior to that. It emphasizes on the proper application of our power and abilities to help those who need it. It also hints at the fact that the actual way of experiencing heaven on earth is by receiving the inner peace through the selfless act of human service. The text also brings out the idea that we should not judge people before knowing the full truth. It also conveys the message that our act of humanity and kindness makes life easy and purposeful. It stresses on the truth that every man's first duty is to show humanity and compassion. The text has emphasized that good deeds on earth is always paramount to heaven and also imparts the message that doing good deeds on heaven can be a more exalted activity than doing God's will in heaven. It tells us that instead of preaching out God in his work, better to do the work for the needy and the poor people. Now let's talk about the critical thinking part. The text is an artistic blend of knowledge regarding the Jewish culture and the essence of service to others. The central idea of the stories, accentuating on the real way of helping the poor rather than visiting temples or churches, is commendable. The story's way of portraying a priest as a helpful individual rather than the one who does nothing but preaches to a lifeless statue in the church is commendable. However, some details are questionable. Why did the Rabbi exactly choose the days of penitential prayers to help the widow? Was he repenting for some sins he has committed toward the woman? Being benevolent and helpful is a man's morality, but shouldn't he complete his assigned duty first? Was it inappropriate to keep all those people in lies? Why did the Rabbi groan so painfully? Why would everyone's heart weep in that sound? Wouldn't the Rabbi notice the lead bag hiding under his bed for such a long time? Why did Rabbi change into peasant clothes? Why did he have to disguise himself? Regardless of this point, I find the text very informative and well written. Now let's talk about the assimilation part. After reading this text, I realized that human service is the greatest service. A person should always try to perform humanitarian activities, which also makes others' life easier to some extent. I also received the insight that the best way to be truly satisfied is through helping others. After realizing the importance of social service and kindness, I visited an orphanage near my house. I donated some of my old clothes and some food with the help of my parents. I certainly experienced extreme happiness and satisfaction from that single act of kindness. It inspired me to keep helping the needy whenever possible. Thank you.
If you liked this video, please share it with your friends. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.